Hi beautiful lovely people, my name is Hannah Gable and welcome to my new YouTube channel.
Smoking and inhaling every moment. It was reckless and we I can see it in your eyes.
I wanted to make this video to help others just like so many other people have helped me. I have been so lucky in this journey to have met such amazing, wonderful people, whether it be people I knew previously or people I still to this day don't know personally, but have just reached out and been there for me, whether they have Hodgkin's or they don't, or they have not Hodgkin's lymphoma, or they've had cancer before. It didn't matter. They wanted to be there for me and they wanted to support me, and for me that's been so important to understand that I have tons of support and love behind me, because this can feel so isolating and so lonely sometimes. You need to know that you're not alone, and while it's okay to feel lonely and it's okay to feel isolated, so many people love you and so many people are there to support you. This journey isn't going to be easy. It's going to be rough and there's going to be tears, and it's going to make you a stronger person with one heck of a story to tell. It's not genetic, you know, it's kind of like a luck of the draw thing. No one asks to get Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's not like, oh, me. Kind of just go down the line and it's pull out a card. I guess it's more unluck of the draw than luck of the draw, but I just wanted to make this video to show people that it does get better. I'm still going through treatment. I don't have any hair. I may not be perfect, but I'm me. That's the best part. It all started in October of 2018 when I woke up in the middle of the night with 2 lumps above my left collarbone. One of them was the size of like a golf ball. This side of my neck was really swollen. I thought they were muscle knots. I thought maybe I just had slept wrong. So I went and got a massage, and that didn't help. So I gave it another few days and still was just really bothered. Couldn't move my neck. I mean, tried a heating pad, didn't help. So I called my school nurse practitioner and went in, and she really just didn't know. Like, I got tested, it wasn't mono. I got tested for a bunch of stuff and none of it came back positive. All of it turned to negative, which was really great, you know, but we couldn't figure out what it was. So she said she would take some blood and to give it the weekend and come back on Monday for the blood results, and we'll kind of see how it looks. So I came back on Monday for the results. She said my blood work turned out perfectly fine, and I mean, nothing looked abnormal, but she was concerned because the lumps were still there. They hadn't shrunk. They didn't grow anymore, but they were still there. They were still the same size, about the size of a golf ball. They were still really hard at the touch. They weren't soft. They were like little nodules, and it hurt to turn my neck. I was in so much pain still. Took a few Advil maybe, but I just didn't really want to take too much because I just didn't really know what I could take. And so she was still a little concerned, but there was really nothing more that she could offer me at the clinic at school. So she gave me a referral to a doctor outside of campus to go see what they thought and get a kind of a second opinion and see how that went from there. But she said if I could not get an appointment in a week, she also gave me the little, I guess, prescription or whatever to go get a scan done and kind of see what they see. But the next morning I woke up and I called the first person that took our insurance and said, can I get an appointment? This is what happened. I explained my situation, got an appointment for the next day about 10 o'clock in the afternoon. I went, I guess 10 a.m. not in the afternoon. I got an appointment for about 10 and I went the next day, and as soon as I got there, I got to the nurse, checked it out, said that it was interesting but they hadn't really seen anything. So they went and got the doctor. The doctor came in and asked me tons and tons of questions. What were my symptoms? Well, I didn't have any symptoms, or at least I might have had a symptom, but all I was just super, super tired. And I got kind of sweaty at night sometimes, but that was it. He left and came back and told me that she needed me to go get blood work done, a CT scan, and an ultrasound. So I went downstairs and got the ultrasound done, and then I got the CT scan done, and I got the blood work done. So after getting all these 3 things done, the ultrasound and the blood work came back first, and both came back perfectly normal, 100% clear, just like everyone else's would look, I guess. So that ruled everything out. They were like, well, we really just don't know. So we're gonna wait on the CT scan. So I started driving to my aunt's house because I'd planned to go visit my aunt that weekend. She lived 4 hours away from where I was going to school, so I got in the car and put all my stuff in and started driving, and off I went. So while I was in the car on my way to my aunt's house, I got a call, and in the call she said, listen, we're not sure we see anything, but there's something on there that could be alarming. So we're going to refer you to an oncologist here in Tampa, a specialist, and you can go see him and kind of go further with that. So, but we want to be rather safe than sorry. And I said, okay. I got off the phone with her and called my mom. I pulled over on the freeway, went and got off, and sat in the parking lot of the little gas station that was right off the freeway, and called my mom and told her the news, and then gave my mom the phone number to call the doctor back because my mom was like not having it. She was like, there's nothing wrong with you. And I was like, well, Mom, there might be. To be honest, we don't know. We're really just kind of confused right now. So after I got off the phone with my mom and she called the doctor, I got back on the freeway and headed back to my aunt's house. So after I got to my aunt's house, I had heard back from my mom, and my mom had scheduled an appointment with a specialist for the Tuesday. So it was Friday, and on Tuesday I had an appointment. And went to classes, took some tests, and picked my mom up at the airport about midnight on Monday. And we got up at about 7:45 and drove to the oncologist office, which was not very far from my school, luckily, and saw him, and he said pretty much the same things. Nothing was really alarming, but he was going to go through a series of tests on his own, and we're going to see what happens. So we're going to see kind of further, and in the meantime he's going to try to schedule a biopsy. He was going to do a core biopsy, not a surgical biopsy, which was where the core biopsy is where they would just take a little piece out and test it. So they just take like the core of it out, and they didn't have to remove a whole thing. It was no long process. You kind of just went to a radiologist and they would do it. But he ordered a PET scan, a CT scan, a workup of blood, and the biopsy. So over the course of the next 3 weeks, I did all of those things. We had made an appointment to see him again in a week after I got the blood and the PET scan and the CT scan. So I went and got the blood drawn, and all of that came back perfectly positive. He called us and he said, hey, everything's amazing. There's nothing alarming here. We'll wait and we'll see. So I went the next day and got a CT scan, and the CT scan came back. Nothing really super alarming, nothing that I hadn't really seen before. I was like, okay. At this point, it had been 3 weeks. I kind of wanted some answers. So now it was the weekend. My mom decided we were going to go back to my aunt's house and she was kind of like a relaxing point. So we went back to my aunt's house over the weekend. My mom got to see her sister, which was really nice, and I just got to relax and spend time with my family, and that was kind of nice to not think about all the stuff that was going on and just be with them and relax and be calm and not think about everything crazy that was going on in my life at the moment. They were very much my safe haven. So after that, I went to the doctor again on Tuesday, and he told me he's still working on the biopsy. He hasn't gotten anyone to do it yet, but as soon as he hears something, he'll give us a call. And he told us that nothing else had come back that was pretty alarming. They haven't really seen any signs of anything. The lumps had still not really gone down. They were still there. They were still super painful. Nothing had really changed. No symptoms had come up. So that was it. During this entire time, my mom and I had been moving from hotel room to hotel room, pretty much living out of a suitcase. This entire time. We couldn't find a hotel because we were going back and forth between my aunt's house on the weekends, and then it also helped so we wouldn't have to pay for a hotel, but hotels were fully booked sometimes, so we would get in for one night and then we would move again, and then we would move again, and then we would move again, and my dorm room was really, really small. I had a studio apartment looking kind of dorm room. My mom couldn't have stayed with me. We could have tried it, but we just decided hotels were a little bit easier, and we decided to do it that way. I don't even want to know what the hotel bill looked like at the end. So we went and I got my PET scan, and the PET scan came back, and they said they saw a little bit of activity in a couple different places in the PET scan, but they still wanted to do the biopsy just to make sure. I'd also done another CT scan, and then I was kind of waiting for those results and waiting to hear back from the doctor. We had called the doctor back a couple of occasions just kind of see some other stuff, and he'd never get back to us. He never really answered our questions. The nurse, he would try his best, but he was probably busy. The nurses wouldn't answer the phone calls. It was a mess. It had now been 4 weeks, no answers, a lot of the same. It could be something, but we're not sure. I just wanted them to say it's something or it's nothing. Something or it's nothing. I don't care if it was whatever it was. I wanted to know. Most everyone would want to know. Anyway, so after that, we decided to go and move on. So we went back to the doctor, and he moved on for the biopsy. So he couldn't get anyone to do it, but he found a surgeon who would be willing to do a surgical biopsy for me, and that's the route we decided to take. I went and met with the surgeon that Friday, and he said he would be willing to do the surgical biopsy the next Monday. So I went back to my aunt's house that weekend, came back Sunday night instead of Monday, but on Monday morning, really, really early in the morning, I started not feeling well. Just kind of a really bad headache or whatever, and so I called the surgeon's office, and his nurse said to go to the ER. So I went into the ER and was there all day until 4, time for my surgery. The surgery happened. After surgery, they offered to admit me to the hospital overnight just to keep an eye on me, but if I wanted to go home, I could. So I was like, I just want to go home. I just want to sleep and do nothing. So I went back home, or to the hotel, I guess, and that was kind of what happened. 3 days later, I got a call saying I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 3, because, yeah. And then they said that they'd talk to us again on Thursday. So they called us again on Thursday and kind of explained that Hodgkin's lymphoma, I had stage 3. It was in my sternum. There were 2 different locations in my neck, and one in my abdomen. So, yeah. It was intense. I cried. I didn't want to cry, but I cried. And yeah, that's kind of how I got diagnosed. It's a really, really long 4 to 5 weeks of no answers, really being confused. At one point during those 4 weeks, we got a call from one of the other doctors that I had seen saying, everything's fine, and my mom almost went home. So she called after the CT scan and said, oh, you know, we don't see anything, everything's fine. So my mom booked herself a hotel ticket, booked herself a ticket home. I was going to keep going to college. Like, the only thing that stopped her from doing that was the fact that we had a biopsy. We were trying to get this biopsy scheduled, and he told us he had it scheduled, but everything kind of fell through. Luckily, the surgical biopsy and everything was scheduled for Friday to go meet the surgeon. So if it wasn't for that surgical biopsy, my mom would have gone home and I would have never known. I would have found out eventually when I came home for Christmas break, but thanks to the surgical biopsy and getting that done, I got my answers and packed up my dorm room. My aunt took it back to her house, everything, got on a plane, and the next week I was started chemo. I started chemo the day before Thanksgiving and have been in treatment ever since. So I'm lucky that I caught it early. I guess my biggest message to go out to everyone is, if there's something that doesn't seem right, know your body enough to know when that's happening. Know your body enough that, you know, this just seems a little off, and don't be afraid to seek help for it. Understand that just going to see someone is taking a step in the right direction, and you may not be able to get the answers you want right away, but it's safer to go see someone and it be nothing than not see someone, it be something, and you have waited. I really want to raise awareness about being aware of your body, being aware of what could happen, because most of the time, like 99% of the time, it's absolutely nothing. But in case you're like me, and that 1% of the time it's something, and it could be something super, super major, you need to get it checked out. So, alrighty guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. You can hit the subscribe button right down there, or over there, or up there, wherever it is on your screen, and hit the cute little bell right next to it so you know when I'm posting, and I will hopefully see you guys in my next video. Mwah!